autistic. Does that make rocket ships space trains?
Yes.
Everyone.
Also, how would
Hello.
you obtain...
We're at the All Mage Party screen now. Hi.
You gotta play the intro?
No, you made an outro, right?
I made an intro too.
No, you didn't.
Have one in your DMs.
You made the Tower King video. That's not an intro. That's you introducing the non-existent corporation known as Tower King. And hello, Chase.
Hold on. There is an intro.mp4 that you have.
You made an outro.
Scroll up.
Well, while I'm looking for that, welcome everyone to another episode of the All Mage Party. We have our usual brand of autists, Clever Duck, Arizim, AC, and Bright. And of course, Cal is also here. Say hi, Cal. Thank you, Cal.
I pinned the messages to our DM, alright?
Okay. Well, I can't play it right now because it would show up on the stream doing that. And
fair enough.
Anyhow, yes, welcome everyone. All two of our viewers. All right, last time everyone was delivering a package for Emir Ghulassin. Was it last? No, it was the time before that he killed a bunch of kobolds, so it was like the most recent session that you guys...
Wait, were they stealthily... kobolds? I thought they were goblins.
Were they goblins? Yeah, they were goblins. Never mind.
I specifically remember calling them forest dwarves, or green elves.
Almost made you forget. Anyhow... Yes, anyhow... you guys have snuck the cargo and Emir Ghulassin through Westfield completely unseen. Thanks majorly to Valek's invisibility spell. That and security being rather lax around Mr. Bucket there, because I can't remember his... Friedrich. Thank you. Friedrich was waving around his adventurer's emblem, and peasants don't really check too much.
You also shouldn't forget that our expert driver, William, definitely did not off-road the cart multiple times.
That was after going through town. We're getting there. So, guys went through town. You arrived at a couple villages that to stay the night at, and then arrived at your destination on the west bank of, close to the Yarness. Close to the Yarness's west border. And from there, Emir Ghulassin called for his ship that was taking anchor somewhere out here. Of course, it took a couple of hours of waiting, but the ship did arrive. And last time, Emir Ghulassin was asking if you were ready to go to Courtnox. Everyone all caught up?
I believe that's all.
Yep.
We made some nice pillows out of water and cloth sacks and stuff.
I do not recall that occurring.
We did not.
We also found a nice location for Tower King's flagship.
That is true.
You also did not.
No, we found a perfect location.
Anyhow.
Man, your memory must be real bad, Bird.
My memory's not bad enough to imagine Tower King as an existing thing. Alright, so you have safely arrived here. You now stand before Emir Ghulassin. The question was asked, and the answer is awaiting. Is there any last-minute autism you guys need to do out of character?
I believe we handled all the autism between episodes.
Doubtful. But nice
All
try.
the autism about this. There's going to be other situations with other autism that needs to happen.
Yep.
So, AC, do you hand him the beacon?
What do you mean hand him? I'm getting on the boat and I'm juggling beacons.
You're staying on the boat with him?
I would have to. Or
Alright.
I would board it as if I'm riding the boat and I'd be shuttling back to my room to refresh the beacon.
Alright then, that's perfectly fine, I guess.
Even if I'm not actually spending a majority of my time on the boat.
Do remind me what you asked as your reward from Renoux? Just so I
A
can
channel
remember.
to smuggle metals.
Ah, wonderful. Well, I guess.
Speaking of
we're
which-
getting on board.
Would you like some silver to smuggle before we
And the
actually
thing
no, it's
is,
probably gonna be
we
spell
ha-
points.
the thing is, you can't spend the spell points, and we can't move the silver as it stands.
Currently the cart has let's see, additional 60 pounds of brass and bronze each. Pedal those off. You won't be needing them for a while.
We can worry about the silver later. Just get on board, and we'll head back to town.
Alright,
I
so
assume you're gonna make me the beacon.
Yes, I'm gonna leave the beacon right here. Additional. That's down 2. 1 for me, 1 for him.
Alright, so you guys opted to just leave Bright behind, or not Bright, Isaac behind.
Yes.
Isaac and William are getting on the boat, I assume?
Oh, Isaac and William, okay.
Aren't,
I don't know if we should-
unless William has decided to follow the rest, I mean...
I don't know if we should send William. I mean, the boat is probably the safest place on Earth for these two right now.
Or the most dangerous, considering how you imagine things.
I assume the ghost ship won't have a problem with a storm if it comes.
Well, can either Isaac or William swim?
What
How
would
good
that
are you
check
two
be?
at swimming? Swim.
Wow, there is a
It's-
swim. How would you get a check in that?
I ask you to roll swim, and if you fail, you start to drown.
I could
You see,
leave
I
with
don't
some-
need to swim. I have a return to land tone. I don't know about William, but I'm good.
Well, treading water and your lungs filling with water also do provide a hefty concentration penalty.
I'll give you one of my air bladders so you can survive one turn and teleport yourself out.
That's a very good idea.
Harley.
What?
Actually,
All
there
right.
is one thing I'll be shuttling back to the town for, though, to buy.
Would that be?
Some form of clock.
Clock. Do I have a clock? Do I? have
I'd
a
assume
clock on
not.
me? I don't have a clock, but I could give you a wind-up music box if it helps measure time.
I like the image of just William counting the number of William and Isaac counting the number of times they've re-clocked this
I hope you never come to
Wound up
agreement
these
on the
thoughts.
count or disagreements.
Well, the crew of the ship will strangle them for playing the same song over and over before it happens. It'll be like a car radio stuck playing only one song.
Um,
I had to do a quick check of. That sounds like a 0 level equivalent spell. As long as you have time and divination, you could just tell time. I'll consider William to have that ability, just because he has those spheres.
That's good enough. I'll only be trusting the results of the magic, though, not really think, oh, it's probably this. No, cast the spell.
Would it hold on? Would it fall under cantrips?
Technically, but with the major asterisk that you have to have both time and divination sphere for it to function.
I see. Well, I suppose it's time to wave the two of them goodbye and make our way back to the city, unless someone else has protests.
Of course, Ghulassin looks at the group being told probably the bare minimum amount of the information you said in out of character, because it's always out of character. He says, I see. Just the two of you, then. Very well. Get on the rowboat. Alright.
I make sure to pick up the beacon AC gives me. I am not going to have a situation where I accidentally leave that behind.
Yep. And to make sure nothing can go wrong, the beacon was one of the adamantine bullets. That thing is not getting destroyed.
Okay, good.
Well, not that.
We have much bigger problems if that thing is getting destroyed.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. Alright, and since it's probably an episode of two perspectives if I don't do this otherwise, I'm just going to cut to everyone else. William is no longer here to drive the cart, because he's now halfway to that vessel that you now refer to as a ghost vessel, for whatever reason.
Ghost ship.
So who's driving the wagon and what destination?
Will handle animal work for driving the cart?
Yes.
Okay. So Valak can drive the cart then.
Driving back the way we came, right?
Yeah.
Yep, you're going back to Westfield?
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
That's a nice handle animal check.
Put quite a few points into it.
Consider all my animals handled.
Alright. It was well into the night when you left from the coast, and it's probably well into the next day before you start seeing Westfield again. I can quickly skip through your rest period if you want, though I'm pretty sure Isaac will have returned to the party at least once or twice in that time, right?
Yeah, Isaac will just be popping in and out of existence every roughly 6 hours.
Now, how much time do you leave yourself between teleporting here and back?
Unless I have something specific to do on the town end, I immediately teleport back to the ship.
I see. See, I thought it'd be funny to fuck with William by staying here a bit longer than you usually do.
Yeah, but if he's gone, who's going to read books to William?
Yeah, precisely. Basically, I'm shuttling books back and forth. When we're done with the book, I'll grab it.
Just drops off a book.
Yeah, don't take
Drops
the
off a
whole.
book, picks up the next one.
Don't
It's
take the
not
whole
wise
trunk, just
to-
book after book.
It's not wise to leave William alone for more than a few seconds without a Tard Wrangler.
Yeah,
That is
exactly.
also true.
Could have left Isabel with William then.
What could possibly go wrong there?
Well, the walking plot element.
I thought we agreed to allow Ghulassin to sell Eastbel into slavery.
No, that was
That
never
wasn't-
the agreement.
That wasn't part of the agreement.
What, you guys couldn't read between the lines?
You
Look,
have to
no
overtly
fine
say
print-
such things first.
No fine print stated that the ghost girl is getting sold.
Right, so you guys return to town. Do you want to return to what's his face?
Renoux.
First off, or
What time is it? Would he be working right now?
it's morning. You've been riding for many hours.
Would we be exhausted if we visited him?
You're least fatigued now.
Alright, then we need to rest first.
All right.
No taking chances when the party's split.
So you take your chances and rest. AC's going to have to arrive once more in that time period. He's been living off of barely naps and somewhat trusting of William to keep time properly.
For what reason are you keeping time exactly, AC?
So he knows when to return.
I would, in one of the times when I stopped by the town, I would have grabbed something that functioned as an alarm clock.
The closest parallel to that would be a rooster, and that only operates at the crack of dawn.
No.
And-
Spring-operated clocks have existed for a very long time.
To which cultures?
Any non-Elvish culture?
Oh, you're funny. You're very funny.
Yep, be right back.
Okay.
I would think that only about the closest thing to a timekeeping device they would have would be some sort of hourglass.
Hourglass or
they'd have-
sundial.
They'd have hourglasses and sundials for. They also have candles. You just light a candle and wait for it to burn out.
Well, that also depends on the size of the candle. Then Isaac might get caught up in the autism of how long does a candle have to be to count time properly, and
I assume they have pre-measured candles
why would you assume that?
because they used them as old school alarm clocks back in the day. You just stick a nail in a candle, and as it burns, the nail falls out when it's time.
Interesting. Alright, anyway, for the group, it's a bit after midday. You're now in the tavern eating, and of course, there's a familiar looking thug visitor. Of course, it's not Emir Ghulassin, it's one of his men that's there.
Unrelated question, but is Isaac the first person in this universe to experience jet lag?
I don't think he's far enough yet to experience jet lag.
Okay.
They might be experiencing great
Wait, no,
tiredness at having
he's
interrupted
try-
sleep.
He's traveling downwards. He won't experience jet lag because he's not moving time zones.
Well, it depends on how the time zones are measured.
If the sun moves fucking Wrong. In this universe, I will be upset.
Maybe the sun travels from northeast to southwest. You don't know.
No,
This universe
you can't do this to me.
No, you've heard of geocentrism and heliocentrism, but now let me introduce to you lunar centrism.
It's still better than political centrism.
Is there a point in lunar centrism that the sun is between the Earth and the moon?
That would be disastrous.
Yes, that's why I'm asking.
So fire and heat radiation follows conventional physics norms. Good to know. Also, may or may not be some radiation implications to be gleaned from that.
All right, let's talk to the man before we get wrapped up in autism.
Just a minor thing, very minor thing. Isn't lunar centrism just the point of view of someone that lives on the moon, where they're orbiting a terrestrial body?
No, that's still.
Depends on whether or not the orbiting body is view locked to its host body.
Maybe. I don't know. Anyway. Yes, someone talk to the man, please, before I get into the autism tornado.
I decide to greet the man.
Alright, Frederick comes up to the man, he says, "Hey, the boss wants to see you."
Hold on, is it the same man that was guarding the guardhouse that we scared the shit out of?
No, this would be one of Renoux Glassin's men.
Wasn't that also one of Glatton's men?
What guardhouse would you be speaking of then?
Not the guardhouse, the storage shed where our cart was.
When we originally returned.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a guardhouse, but no.
Okay, so it's not the man I scared the ever-living shit out of.
Nope.
Wonderful.
Strangely enough, you haven't met him since that incident.
I was real polite too. Left him with more money than you know what to do with.
Yeah, strange. He was found with money in his pocket after leaving his post. Only nice things could have happened to him, surely.
Odd that. Anyway, let's follow the man.
Alright, so I'm guessing the rest of you are rounded up and you're brought over to where Glauton is. This time he doesn't meet you in that underground basement area. You see him in the courtyard. He welcomes everyone with open arms. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome for returning. How was your journey?
It was average. We encountered a little bit of trouble from some goblins, but nothing we couldn't handle.
We.
You were speaking about the four dwarves, yes?
I thought they were green elves at first.
No, they too short for elves.
I suppose that's true. Anyhow, I believe we are owed a reward.
Yes, you did have a reward. I see that strange and annoying little man is not with you. I assume he already
Which
had
one?
his reward.
Which one?
It's the one with the face and the book obsession.
You're still describing both of them.
Yes, there's a second one missing, is there not?
Anyhow, we are going to be collecting the reward on his part.
Yes. What was that I promised you, good sir?
To me and the white-haired female, you promised to look into a list of names.
And that I have. But some of those names take more time than others, as you can tell. There are some complications with that list I might need to discuss with you. His voice does quiet a bit as he sees the white-haired woman's glare. Once more, this is your reminder that 2 Alpha is indeed with you. Because apparently you guys are easy to forget.
Yes, it's us, the team. Okay.
I have never
misplaced her for a whole episode.
Never forgotten.
Anyhow, it's who else need the reward? Fida and Valak.
Yeah, Valak had his gold, and also Renoux was taking care of the lions while we were delivering.
Did he pay you any gold in advance, by the way?
No.
No, of course. And I'm guessing it was
completion.
1,000 gold, yep.
Yes.
Of course, let me go grab those from my coffers here. No, wait, he sort of lingers for a moment, then he points at one of his thug men. You go get it. It's downstairs. The usual door.
What did Fida ask for? I don't remember.
Yeah, a list of libraries, basically.
Ah, yes. Both private and public libraries.
Ah, yes, the strange woman that wears pants. I assume she wears pants.
It would be basically...
Now,
Yeah, basically pants, I think.
here's
Yes.
the question.
Basically, a
Three of
monk's
them-
robe. So, imagine how you will.
We have 3 people we can describe as weird-faced and obsessed with books now.
Yes, but one is a femoid.
So you're saying she's not a person then?
What was it that someone said earlier? Property? Anyhow, yes, you strange lady with fire-kissed hair. Yes, there's a list of libraries. Don't know how useful a list might be, since the public one's the only one I know of is in Maiden's Tower. And it's specifically public to a subset of peoples.
We can make our way into even private libraries. You don't
Didn't
have to
we
worry about
specifically
it.
ask for the more private ones?
We asked for all of them.
And if he knows.
Yes.
And as for private libraries, near every manor in the Arness has a selection of books, some more tedious than others, being family histories and whatnot, with the greatest being in the capital.
Good to know.
Just thought of an absolutely wonderful image. Isaac and
Oh.
William forming a book stealing party, teleport into people's libraries, pick a book out to read, teleport out, probably wouldn't even notice it gone while we're reading it, put it back completely unnoticed.
Say, I thought
But-
you were gonna say teleport the entire shelf.
But But I do find it strange that you come here seeking libraries, as this is not a land known for fictional or documentational refinement, if I say so myself. The lot of you are mages, are you not? I thought you would be more interested in a place like Courtnox or somewhere across the sea, perhaps. And God, why am I having trouble saying that in French? Ostroga.
Our current location is a variable. We want to know everything about all the places we visit.
I see. Is there a person not wanting to go to Astra Imperium? Because I do believe I suggested that. Uh-huh.
I know enough about it already.
My first assumption would be the lot of you know a great deal, but you're just the worst at hiding it. Nevertheless, there's also another location that just comes to mind. An area on the dunes of Mar. It is a very repulsing sounding name for the people around here. Freeport. Yes.
The Pirate Haven.
Freeport is not greatly a pirate haven. They are ruled by a tough set of individuals that do not take kindly to much thievery, but I guess they do allow such individuals to make port every now and then.
We don't take kindly to folks that don't take kindly.
Indeed.
But
there they have a odd little group of mages, an academy of sorts, from what I hear.
That just leaves two things to discuss. Our list of names and the friend of mine's reward. He was promised a contact to help him process and deliver ore.
Yes, and I have a great many contacts I can give to him, but as it is his reward, he needs to be here to collect it.
Wouldn't it be funny if just at the nick of time he teleports in?
What time of day did the ship depart, and what time of day is it now?
You teleported to and fro at least 3 times hence. That was enough time for them to return and rest upon returning to Westfield. You still have probably about 3 more hours before you have an optimal teleport.
Yep.
I see. Well, shall we discuss the names then? He should be showing up in some 3 hours from now.
I did not know you kept track of time. Sorry, that was out of character.
Well,
yes.
I'd clearly be keeping track of time as well.
What is
Well,
this
you have to keep
power
track of-
which you take?
Yes, the names that you speak of are rather odd. I've only had the day to look at some, but my quick scan of contacts tell me, well, I only know about 3 of these names. One of them is much of a legend about the great founder of Courtnox. Is this Bolmo fellow. Yeah, he's a great terror in the history of the Arnes, rising up many undead legions to block the way of the horse folk he called ignorant, being the Knights of the King at the time. He allegedly created the vampire rulers of Courtnox, and there haven't been many tales of him since. These must be legends of sort. One would think many knights would be piled up at some castle trying to complete the quest of ridding the world of such a monstrous being, but here we are this day, and not a word has reached ear since then. But of course I start with the most frivolous example. Since one of your friends does wish to go to Courtnox, and well, it might be too late to tell him that who he seeks might not even exist at this time.
Don't the dead walk in Courtnox? He must exist in one form or another.
It is possible, but in which state the dead walk is quite beyond me. From what I know, unless you are a spawn of the vampire, the dead walk without brains.
But they do walk with their possessions.
Yes, it is quite unfortunate for them, is it not?
Quite unfortunate.
Is that why my profession exists? Anyhow, there is a name of some curiosity that you've presented to me. It is Gaius, it is not. This man is... One moment. Because I don't just keep a regular list somewhere. I have to... Oops. Yes, is this one named Gaius? He's been a emperor in the Astra Imperium for, well, it seems to be 300 years ago, and he has long since deceased. Much of his line does currently rule the nation right now, with some exceptions.
Any clue where he's supposed to be buried?
I would imagine someone that is more local to Astra Imperium would know, but this is a payment for a great deed, so I shall shed light. I have no approximate location, but this is the Palace of the Emperors. I assume there's a mausoleum there for their deceased to be buried, and locked tightly behind great magical barriers so none could let the dead walk again and take their thrones.
I see.
And this last one is the most improbable name that I've ever seen. Beaumont, a local to Diarnes. Could be a chevalier. Well, no, not chevalier. He'd be a Saint Beaumont. This man is idolized somewhat as a great knight of sorts. Once more, many hundreds of years ago, had slain a many red dragon and had defended the altars of, well, that's state secrets that even I cannot take, but that's an altar of a certain deity that the nobility so kindly love. Those nightly tales do differ greatly from story to story. From what I've heard, I've only taken the most barest of looks, since he is a person that ought to be long since dead. Those tales do continue for quite some time beyond the normal span of a night. Not enough to have tales in the present day, I'm afraid, for this petite lady here.
And if he is not alive today, where would a great hero of this country be buried?
It is not in the nature of saints or successful knights to be buried. It is quite macabre, but sometimes their bones are paraded about and used as figureheads for future crusades across the world. It is quite possible Beaumont has met such a fate, or the last tale that we ever heard has been his last quest, and his bones are well digested in the belly of some beast.
A man who supposedly slayed red dragons single-handedly to fall to a beast? Unlikely.
Even the greatest men do sleep sometimes, yes?
Yeah.
Exhaustions, wounds, old age, such are the curses of man. But we do get by one way or another. I do not consider this payment complete. You can return to me at any time and I'll still be looking into it, but if you wish to get me to look closer on things, I might request for you to do more jobs for me, yes?
More jobs with more payment, I assume?
Yes, more payment specific to one's desires. I do not assume that gold is all mages seek.
No, not everything we seek is gold, though it never hurts.
But if you do wish to take upon another job from me, I have a bit of advance payment for you, yes. As he's talking some more, the man that he sent away past comes out of the cellar of his manor with a short chest in his arms, like it's a small box, like 1 foot wide, half a foot narrow, or half foot short, whatever. He presents that box to Valak and opens it. Inside there bunch of sparkling gold coins, well polished. Is your payment satisfactory, good sir?
Can Valak use appraise to get a sense of that the coins are real?
Yes, you can appraise. And yes, the coins are real.
Okay. Yes, this is quite nice, thank you.
And that appraise roll just made your nose grow.
We have two people in the party with great noses of...
No, hold on. I assume he's in glamour. His nose could literally grow with that.
Yeah, Valak is rubbing his hands together and he says, "Yes, that's quite nice. Thank you."
That's quite nice, Goyim.
Now, we're left with 3 choices, one of which Bucket doesn't want to take because it would require returning to the Astro Imperium. One of which is working for Renoux again, and one of which is going on an adventure down in Courtnox. Now, I'm all for undead adventures.
Valak isn't particularly thrilled about going to Courtnox because illusionary magic isn't very effective against undead.
And didn't you turn your illusions real though?
Yeah, that is true. My illusions do have physical force to them now.
They should work more or less against undead now, right?
Yeah.
They should, yes.
Well, the undead still the
Undead don't
still
see through.
Disbelieve the illusion. So
So does everybody.
Yeah, but the undead are particularly good at disbelieving illusions, I think.
They just have better will saves than most creatures of their CR.
Okay, so that's one vote for Courtnox, one vote against. What about the rest of the party? I know. William wants to go there. I mean,
as you begin to break out into a conversation, Renoux speaks up again. Mages, if I might interject for a moment, if you do another job for me, I can see that you adventuring types have quite a quest of your own, he says with, of course, some disgust for the word on his tongue. And that quest brings you far beyond the walls of Westfield, does it not? Oh, we lost. What happened to Duck?
Yeah, you all just cut out there for a minute for me.
Yeah, you lost Roll20. Might want to refresh.
You must be in the same area as AC then, because he's apparently saying they may lose connection.
Yeah, I'm on the East Coast. Usually things are stable for me unless it's...
Nah, see, AC might lose his old power, so that might be a problem. But
yeah.
Yeah, it is raining slightly outside. It might be my VPN.
Okay.
Right. So, are you
Yes.
here, AC?
Yep.
What's your thoughts on
William
that
is definitely in full-blown sunken cost fallacy at this point.
That we know what William's vote
personally-
is.
Yes,
That would-
but hold on. We're sunken cost on both going to Courtnox and working for Renoux, though.
Yeah, but can't we just ask if Renoux has a job in Courtnox?
I suppose he was getting to it.
What? Yeah, I missed. Verd, you all cut out for me right as Renoux was saying something.
To reiterate, he was saying that he's prepositioning with I know you're all the adventuring sort, you're going to be traveling around, you're not necessarily sticking around Westfield, and going to continue now in character. Yes, that being the case, I have prepared an advance as a reward for partaking in another job for me. I would hope that this would convince you to stay around for but a day and see about doing some task for me. It is probably going to be transportation work. To be honest, I haven't quite picked out the job for you, but it will definitely be something that only I could trust the mages, perhaps. He then opens up his jacket and rifles through the pockets, and he pulls out like a a small scroll, and then he hands it over to Friedrich.
I open up and look at the scroll.
All right. Here's what you got. Finally, a map.
Yay!
Now, a lot of
I would
it
know
is...
I would know from my Astro Imperium education that this is not a decent map.
Correct. It doesn't show roads. It doesn't show, well, names of towns. It could be, but it is a very immutable map. Like if locations and borders within these empires shift or change, much of the locations stamped within are likely to stay the same.
My problem isn't with the like low detail of the map. It's with the fact that the coastline does not appear to be properly made, at least not according to the other map we had. Right?
How so? What other map did you even have?
Well, we didn't have another map per se. We just saw what the world looked like at one point.
Yep.
Speaking of which, I can just fly vertically and see that this is wrong.
Not necessarily, because you can't fly that high.
Also, which projection system is this using?
Are we on a flat Earth? That's the question.
Not answering that question. Next.
Most,
Don't worry, when I'm level 10, we'll have that answer.
Mostly, I'm curious about the part right of Courtnox. There appears to be a lot more ocean there than there was on the other map we had.
I do not see it. This was literally out of character. This is literally traced off of the other map. Everything is proportional.
I could just be misremembering. Oh no! I think I realize what it is. I think it's because it's lacking the other continents. So in context, it looks smaller.
It's lacking other continents, yes, and it's also lacking some interior rivers. So you're only seeing like the outlet rivers.
If I really wanted to know, I could actually answer the question of whether or not this is around Earth using just my abilities.
Well, your character isn't here to ponder this autism, so.
Now, looking at this map, right, is there anything marked on the map, for example, where he wants us to go?
No, there's nothing marked on the map for where he wants you to go because he hasn't told you where he wants you to go yet. He's just given you an advance and consider my offer kind of speech.
Well, to be fair, we were already considering not really sticking around with him so much as making him stick around with our king.
I don't think you've made that specific ask of him yet, but that's probably...
We didn't make the ask of him yet because we don't have anything for him to manage, but we will eventually, and we will need someone to manage our holdings.
Out of curiosity, what knowledge roll would it be to know how a map should be made?
Knowledge geography.
Okay.
Let's see if I have the knowledge.
Because I noticed one thing missing from this map.
No,
Very
I
important
don't.
thing for most maps.
A compass?
No. Well, that too, but...
So you're going to have to be more specific.
It doesn't have a size legend.
It's missing a map key and scale.
But yeah.
Ah, yes. The normal thing to actually be missing from any map drawn by people that don't see from extraplanar view. Or from outside the atmosphere.
Yeah,
It isn't. No, it isn't really, because they can determine the distance between two cities and just extrapolate from that. It should be here,
Yeah.
especially considering the two
It would be
border towns in
stupid,
Astron.
crazy far off and inaccurate, but it still would be present.
Yeah, it wouldn't be like it would be very imperfect, but it would be there.
Well, this map doesn't have that scale. Sorry.
Especially considering the two border towns next to the Astro Imperium, which appear to be straight lines across from each other, you could easily measure that distance. Fucking, I bet if you stand on the roof of one of the towers, you can measure it by eye.
That's a very detailed map.
So,
and besides, it's a map that's given to you for free that your characters don't have, and is pretty hard ass to grab.
I'm not gonna be ungrateful for the map, at least not to his face.
Yeah, so as soon as it gets in the hands of the scholars, the academics, they're going to start nitpicking at the petty details of the map, and
I mean,
manually, they're gonna either Isaac or William is going to notice this, do the measurements themselves, fill it in, and give it back, and say, "Here, redistribute these, please. It hurts. It hurts seeing such an incomplete map."
So I turn to Glauton and ask him, so, this transportation effort, where exactly would it be taking us?
Well, to be fair, I'd be taking you far away from here for the foreseeable future. But since you are perhaps considering leaving the Arness, it is not improbable for you to be sent on such a destination, is it not? My associates from near have been seeking to acquire something and to present it to the lord of the region. Is this something is a belt of a certain creature, one that is not one that is a rumor or a legend around here, and we do not wish to really look for it. My associates in the capital have deigned more wisely to fake such things.
I see.
Yes, they've taken great care to raise a beast to butcher with a belt of white to present to the Lord, and this Lord will, of course, present that pelt to some maidens staying here in Westfield.
A lot of trouble to go for some maidens.
You have quite no idea how much trouble the Lord will go for some maidens.
Sam.
I hope you're invisible while saying that.
Invisibility doesn't stop him from being heard while saying that.
No, I know, exactly. He's just a random voice in the crowd that yelled simp.
Valak can literally make as a trick without wasting any spell points or breaking concentration. Just make a voice, from somewhere.
No, Valak is Twitch chat.
I have to get the distances on this, and I don't have a working grid on it, so that using your measurement stick's not going to work for now. I'll work on it after the stream, but
See, this is exactly why the artists need a legend.
yeah, but
I'm
this
just
here,
trying to do some rough inferences from different positions and how far and how long and all that stuff. Like, If that was roughly about there, was what, a night's travel?
Oh God,
That was, what, 36 miles?
just about, I think.
To which would make that 390 something miles.
So Renoux would have us.
90 to 300, 400.
Renoux would have deliver a pelt, a snow white pelt.
Pick up a pelt from the capital and return it to Westfield.
From the capital.
Yes.
Which of these towns on the map is the capital again? It's the one in the big mountain, right?
Right
Oh,
here.
it's that one. How long? That's what, a week's travel, let's say?
4 times the coast, not including mountainous ranges, squiggles along the path, etc.
At the
So,
very
a
least,
week,
as the
give
bird
or take.
flies about 400 something miles.
Hmm.
That might be good because there's probably like a library in there that we can do some research on. B, it would be a good place to find out about the Beaumont, and C, it wouldn't require us going near undead.
It is a good. It would be a good source of information, but we are going to have to move to Courtnox eventually. Whether that's with an army or just ourselves, well, depends on how Tower King shakes out.
Where are you going to get an army from?
Tower King.
Forgetting the
We're gonna have an
Black
army of
Tower
wages.
paramilitary subsidiary.
Yeah, we need our paramilitary. I'm sure Renoux would be glad to help us, considering it to put him in a position of power higher than he is right now.
God, it's annoying
Anyhow.
to get...
What?
There you go. You have a marker. Boom.
I still haven't finished questioning him about why go through such efforts for a fake pelt to some maidens. Is it one specific maiden he's wooing?
In actuality, there are 2 maidens in this region. And the Lord is not a particular sort, which makes it all the more difficult for him to choose which as the maidens to woo. There is,
So he's going for both of them, I understand.
yes, in a way, he has taken upon the greatest quest to see which of them is more receptive to his advances and his knightly valors. I do not, nor do most of the Arness do not partake in these rituals, but they are the troublesome things that the nobles have allegedly taken upon themselves to deal with.
Be right back.
Because these maidens aren't just some noble sort of sows, they are spellcasters, very, very valuable to whatever region they are in. And having one of them in the line for whatever family makes them quite powerful.
I missed what was just said because I was away.
Alright, so to recap for you, essentially, they're not just some noble women that he's indecisive about simping over. Their spellcasters.
So he likes spellcasters, does he?
Well, specifically when they refer to as maidens here, they're referring to women in noble birth that have spellcasting.
I see. Now, is he simping for them for their noble birth or for their spellcasting?
Yes.
I see. So keep Vida and Isabel and possibly Gu Alpha, though I think she'll just kill him, away from any nobles.
I think
No,
of
no.
the ones
Quite
that
the
you've.
contrary. Quite the contrary. We want to infiltrate now. Pretend I'm a maiden.
This is exactly why we need to keep you away from the nobles. No social climbing on my watch, alright?
Don't make us honor kill you, sister.
It's not for social climbing. It's from stealing from their library and their safe.
Yeah, it's not for money or power. It's for their books. That's a nerd salute right there. But of the people that you listed, the one that's most likely to be mistaken for a maiden is probably 2 Alpha. Because have you seen Fia and Isabel?
Yeah, 2 Alpha's got that real royal bitchiness about her. I do not say this out loud. Just.
Yes, you don't want to reset those points that you've been trying to accumulate.
Exactly. You got to keep the team healer nice and happy.
Even if you hate her guts for some reason.
I don't hate her. She's just.
Yes, she's just. There we go. End it there.
She's the brand of autism that doesn't fit into the party, you know? She's the type that doesn't want us to do Tower King.
She's focused on her task, whereas you guys are not.
Which is Tower King.
Well, to be fair, William is also hyper-focused on a task, but he's very distracted easily.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Well,
so you get much of the lowdown about the new job from Renoux Glauton. Any words you wish to say immediately, or you're just going to mull over that journey for a bit until Isaac has to return?
Yeah, we need to ask Isaac what his thoughts on this are, but I am actually for doing at least another little run for him. Because this one's even easier. We can just teleport back to Westfield when we're done.
Now, I know this may be a little bit late for Isaac to be wondering this, but where is the boat he's currently on hitting?
Ah, yes, I will go to you in a second, in due time. It just, like, this isn't a high tense situation, so it's not like need to switch between perspectives real quickly.
Well, we don't really have much to say to Renoux until we've figured out whether we're doing the job for him or not.
Alright, so I guess your characters can return to the inn to discuss it and do whatever purchases you need in the market, seeing that you're seeing that Valak is 1,000 gold richer, not necessarily the rest of the party.
Well,
Valak would also like to take some time to visit the lions and see that they're being cared for well by
Well,
Renoux.
it's going to be like a visit to the petting zoo then, for you then.
Yes.
Right, and
long
because...
As long as we're waiting around with time to kill, he might as well do that.
And because Isabel's coward about splitting the party, she will be with you as you're as Felix doing the line petting.
Oh, good. I needed food for them.
Jesus. Oh, it's great to have a Doom Die
Brutal,
character.
but effective.
Please make sure the character ends this time. Oh god, fucking Jack clicked on that link.
Yes, he did.
Dumbass. Anyhow. Alright, so I'd say meanwhile, but many hours ago, Isaac and William were brought onto Emir Ghulassin's ship. It was you rowed up to it on a rowboat made of some darkly oiled wood. In the night, all that was really lighting your way was a lantern of bright crimson fire, presumably conjured by magic and tempered in such a way to make it more lasting. The waters are calm up until you approach into the mist surrounding the ship. Before the fire, the mist simply parts like a great wall that has been just protecting the ship like a barrier. To get back on board, you are made to climb up a rope ladder to get on deck. Though, of course, because even with William's poor arm strength, there are crew that help with additional ropes that just simply pull him up if when he does fail climbing checks. To make things quick, I'm not going to have you roll since there's no real consequences to failure, besides looking ridiculous. On deck, there are less demonic folks than your appearance in Jarmet or the Leonwood would lead you to believe. There are several humans of bronze skin and Duck, your rapper.
Sorry.
Several humans of bronze skin and some human hybrids that seem to have like crystalline hair and beards, or much like Ghulassin himself, darker, more ashen skin and bright crimson hair. They all look at William and Isaac strangely, and they speak in strange tongues. Ghulassin announces that Isaac and William are guests on the ship. To which intonation is difficult for ones that are socially challenged to comprehend.
Also, a quick note. I have tongue of earth, fire, sea, and heaven.
Okay.
In
That
case
may
any of
actually
you
help
was
you.
speaking in. Yeah.
So how badly were they shit talking them when they got on board?
Well, and people were, of course, remarking on how weak and scrawny they looked. But that doesn't necessarily mean much of anything. Because even despite Ghulassin's imposing figure, he is also a great spellcaster. And who knows what that means for for the two of you. Sorry, I was just scrolling through all these fucking pings of Jack being a retard. Alright. Just noticed that we had someone talking in chat. Hello, PI Staker. Yeah, so you're on ship and you're given time to just acquaint yourself with the rocking of the waves that slowly shift the deck to and fro. But then once the sails are unleashed, you are escorted down below beneath the first deck so that you don't stand in the way of sailing. Much of the crew doesn't seem fit to talk to you or even point out your existence, much less interfere with your goings-on, and it seems Ghulassin is much too busy now that his cargo is aboard. Though, once the ship starts moving, the cargo was brought down to to the bottommost deck of the ship to sit for the voyage. At first, the voyage is probably easy, considering that you're among a bunch of people that you've never met before, and all you have is the assurances of someone that you just met for a job. But soon enough, William grows bored and, of course, asks for a book to be read to him, or a book to be at least presented, because simple brotherly argumentation isn't doing it for him. And this is about the time when your first teleportation back to the cart takes place, AC.
Yes, and before departing, I ask William which of the books, any preference in category, if I can find one.
William says, well, perhaps something esoteric, something planner, if there is any in the collection.
Isaac responds basically with noted.
What I'm getting from that is a collection of love poems.
No, he wants to be told astrology stories.
Maybe. Who knows? Alright, so that's probably what you collect in your first leg of the journey. You spend most of your first few hours reading for that. Your character's probably not that tired since you guys had some rest before you arrived to the coastline to begin with, because you characters took some rest at a farming village partway there, did you not?
Yes, we were. I was full rested before departing.
Yeah.
The future headquarters of Tower Farms, I believe, is what you mean.
Tower Rock Farms. No. Just plain no. Alright, so then you read up enough for your second teleportation, and then they are still not within city bounds. That's when you just take a second book, just to make sure you don't run out of material to read to William to keep him less petulant.
Yes.
On the ship.
On my second trip back, I will grab some small luxury thing, like miscellaneous, like ration, just in case as well.
Right. And when you teleport back, as soon as you get peckish, you are, of course, invited to dine with the crew aboard the ship. Seems there is a small hall of what would be boiled shellfish and oysters
Two
to be
artists
had.
alone in a social situation. What could possibly go wrong?
Now, the question is, do you engage in a social situation, or you just say, no, I'm good, and start snacking on rations and reading books still?
William would probably consider it more rude to eat the rations than to partake in the hostilities that he was offered.
But what about Isaac?
Isaac, yeah.
Okay.
I
Do you want to play William?
I wouldn't be too opposed if I get used to it.
You'll never get used to being William.
See, William would actually be useful then.
Oh, no.
What are you talking about? William would be focused on very autistic things like reading books.
Yes, but at
Only
least
reading
he'd be
books?
useful in
Reading
combat.
books or drinking wine during combat, you know?
Oh, speaking of which, when was William's last wine?
Oh, he has not had a good drink since the inn. Though the wine here is rather bad, since apparently the stuff they give is swill that's not given great time to ferment, like 100 years that he's used to.
That's probably where I would end up focusing William's character, in making wine be tasty faster.
Oh no.
Now hold on a minute. He's using
that's
100-year fermented wine?
Yes.
Because
If you leave something to ferment for 100 years, is there even sugar left in it?
Yeah, it's basically vinegar at that point.
Isn't it just poison?
Is that fermenting
Depends on the
process, or
process.
is that aging process in general? Because
aging,
wine
not
does,
fermenting.
yeah, aging, yeah.
Yeah, but not for that amount of time. It
It would begin to rot sooner or later.
yeah.
He's used to rotten wine.
Yeah.
Like,
The
Well,
whole
he's-
direction I would take William's character is the most broken
much
time
longer.
character who only uses it on wine.
Yes, probably. Most likely, that's what he'd be using it on. Anyhow, of course, you do take the mistake of bringing William to a social event, and without saying much in specific, he does get into an argument with the crew, one of which seems to be a caster of the elemental sort, and William, of course, gets into the particulars of how he specifically casts spells, and you fear there might be a more academic form of a tussle about to occur there, Isaac, over dinner.
I start preparing to open a betting ring.
Now hold. Is an academic form of a tussle just a fist fight?
Not when someone can throw a fireball to punctuate their argument.
If you don't use fireballs as
on the
puncture,
ship. Very good idea.
Don't worry, I'm carrying around a cubic meter of water. It'll be fine. Or not cubic meter, cubic foot.
you'll just flood the ship from the inside.
No, 1 cubic foot?
Yeah, 1 cubic foot's nothing.
Yeah. But it's exactly enough as to drown out a fire. Start small.
can you release it under pressure?
That's a mechanics question that we can sort out later.
Yes, much later. Alright, so a somewhat fight breaks out, of course, with William's high-minded academic posturing while the other person is simply tougher and scary. It seems like, though by the end of it, pragmatism
Will was unable
and...
to feel fear. Him being scary would have no effect in the situation.
Though by the end of it, pragmatism does wear on, and William just dismisses him as some kind of savage, which leaves the man fuming.
Isaac slips him a subtle thumbs up. Or not William, the person who picked a fight with William. While nibbling on his,
Instead of
nice food.
abandoning William to this boat, you're just gonna try to kill him on it. I see what's going on.
Oh, I'm not trying to kill him. I'm just trying to wake him up a little bit. You know, not in the entire. By the time we get there, he'll be a little bit more skeptical of strangers. That's all I'm saying.
Just coerce him into dangerous situations where he may or may not have gruesome harm inflicted upon him. Small things.
It's fine. It's not like either of us has no healing abilities whatsoever.
You're antagonizing a caster on a ship whose captain just fucking nuked 4 goblins out of existence without breaking a sweat.
Without spending many spell points, might I add. Whereas
you know what? I do have a secondary spell pool specifically for creations. I might just end up making William a blue hat.
Are you going to destroy part of the ship just so you can give William an autism hat?
No, not part of the ship. That's worth a couple copper to me.
Price is not relative here.
You see, value is what you value things to be at. Not further antagonize the crew, and to clearly put my stance as I am on the party mocking this fool.
Is it a ploy from you, or are you legitimately on the side of people mocking this fool?
Oh, I'm 100% on the party of Bully William.
Okay,
now, whether or not that is as an ally of the other individuals is a completely different matter.
Roll diplomacy.
Wow. What could possibly go wrong?
You really should have brought someone who was good at diplomacy with you.
Wait, can I quick phone a friend?
Phone a friend, call up 2 Alpha. Hey, could you solve this fight for me?
Why 2 Alpha? All people. She isn't good at diplomacy, is she? She doesn't.
No,
act
but
like
she
it.
can. She can definitely heal up William at least if diplomacy fails.
Well, that's just planning for failure.
Wait. Instead, can I get a
for
linguistics check
No.
for articulately hiding an insult in another language William doesn't understand?
That would be bluff.
But he doesn't understand what I'm saying.
That would be bluff.
Either is just as bad.
So
how badly would...
Okay, so Isaac in his attempts to show the guards that, or show the guys that he's not on William's side, comes off entirely insincere. Like,
what are you talking about? He spent an entire copper making a hat to make fun of him. How much more sincere can one get?
They took that to mean that you were crowning William the winner of the argument.
Well, William was the winner of the argument, though.
Oh boy. Alright, so the third teleportation event occurs, and this time you appear in Bright's room while he's resting. It appears that they're back in Westweald, and since they don't have someone that can just make a white space out in a field, they've decided to sleep in indoors environment.
So the space is white.
Well, I call it white space because there's nothing in it. And I assume there's brightness within.
I don't know. The details on that is not very specific.
Probably
What
looks
is
like
the
an
color of
aperture
nothing?
science test chamber or something.
What is the color of nothing?
I don't know.
What is that thing they've invented with carbon? Phantom black or something? Like the
Yeah,
pitch
but
black
does-
stuff?
But does Phantom Black have artificial brightness?
Nope. We lost a thing.
I'm just imagining his room now as the aperture science test chambers.
Yeah, that's either that or the space where they get guns in the Matrix.
He doesn't have enough guns. Though if buckets in there, it does work like that.
Anyhow,
Let's see.
does Isaac return immediately, or are you doing something?
Just think. No, I can't think of anything to grab in the room immediately.
All right.
I would probably leave any of the books I've finished, if any, back on the table to indicate that I have been there.
All right. So add it to the lore of when Bright wakes up. There's a
Hold on.
sinister.
Can I roll a perception check to see if he's see if I wake up?
Okay. Does Isaac make any effort to do these things with the intent not to wake Bright up?
Not too much effort, no.
Okay.
When
so-
Isaac, when
Okay,
Isaac
so-
pops in and out, does it make any kind of sound like,
I'm pretty sure the ability does flash.
Maybe a
Because there's an
whoosh.
explicit ability which makes it not flash.
Sometimes legacy abilities do like stay in the rule set. So maybe
I'm
not
actually-
flash is a legacy
I'm
ability.
actually pretty certain that the base doesn't flash because there's a feat. If you have the light sphere and the warp sphere, you can
Make it
make
flash.
yourself vanish in a flash. Yeah.
So I think it's. But then again, I don't know if it's if you're doing a pop, because pop would indicate that you're displacing the air, and I don't know if you're just. I'm not going to get into that question, so I'm just going to answer with, it's irrelevant. You've been making footsteps. He could have heard those. And he did, and
With a
Frederick
roll
woke
like that,
up.
I could with a roll like that, I could hear him if he was silent.
Well, technically, you got an 18 worth of perception, so you have to roll above that with stealth to be unheard. But since he didn't. But since he didn't, you definitely heard him.
If I noticed Bright was woken by my presence, I acknowledge his existence and apologize for the inconvenience.
Does Friedrich sleep without a helmet?
No, he sleeps with his helmet mask on.
Oh, yeah, the helmet mask.
It's quite alright. Are things going okay over there?
What What would Isaac roll to know things didn't go okay? Would that be whizzed?
I'd say knowledge local.
What do you mean, knowledge local?
You barely surmised. No, things aren't great.
Oh God, did William
Worse.
antagonize the crew?
I look at him as if, like, do you have any idea who you put me on a ship with?
Did you antagonize the crew along with him?
Isaac doesn't think he did.
Do you say I don't think I did?
Isaac would have definitely responded. No, not that I'm aware of.
So, So Bucket would just know instinctively that, yes, you did. Would I know that? I don't know. But Bert isn't here.
Alright, I'm back.
Welcome back. Wait a minute, I had an idea.
What?
So what structures are in this room?
Steal a fucking cabinet from an inn room, alright?
Jesus. He's not gonna steal it, he's gonna destroy it so he has more extra spell pool to create things for William's amusement. No?
Oh, definitely. Also, William will not William. Isaac will basically ask for some good. Ask for them to look for some decent alcohol. I want something valuable to share with the crew.
Let's see if I have any.
Something that would feel valuable for their circumstance. Basically, fill a barrel with alcohol is kind of what Isaac is asking for.
Right. Well, could it be ruled that I attempted to buy a barrel of alcohol when I woke up in the morning?
Well, it wouldn't be morning anymore, it'd be midday for your character if you woke up at this point. And he had to deal with Isaac.
This is before we met Renoux, right?
Yes.
So
many hours before.
Yes. Well, I would have bought. When I got up, I would have bought a barrel of booze, which would cost me how much?
Jesus Christ. I gotta look this up now. Okay, so a cask of wine would be about 1 gold, essentially. No. 2 silver.
How many casks in a barrel?
That's difficult.
The barrel of the size which AC can transport, of course.
What's the weight limit on your transport? AC?
I'm. Anything I can pick up, basically. Let me look at it. Actually, teleport object. No, is that a spell point ability?
It is a spell point ability.
Can't you store structure?
Yeah, but that's also a spell point ability. I'm just thinking.
Wait, can't you just store the alcohol itself and just dispense it in small amounts to the crew?
Isn't that also
Be an
spellbound?
alcoholism.
Or is that free to just open up your storage?
I can put anything in there. That would be weight based though. Let's look. Exponential storage. That would be 10 pound per caster level, which would be 60 pound.
You can get at most 10 casks in there, I feel.
That's fine.
I'm just going off of intuition here, to be honest.
10 casks, 2 silver per cask, that's 20 silver or 2 gold,
2 gold.
right?
Yep. So you make
Right.
several trips, robbing this inn of its wine supply to provide a small gift to the crew that are housing Isaac and William.
Yeah, basically, I'm trying to make sure that my value, keeping me there, is valuable enough to put up with William for now.
For now, yeah.
Who knows? William may do something that needs to make me put in extra effort, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
All right. So you reappear with some sweet Westfield white to hand out to the crew. I'd also have you roll diplomacy for this.
Actually, I will be going to the what's the name? Captain to ask about distribution because the crew is larger than the current supply. Most likely.
All right, and he would point you to the ship quartermaster, which, unlike much of the regular crew, actually does look like some sort of, well, some more extra-dimensional being. A broad-chested creature with burning red eyes and dark skin. I say creature, but it is humanoid in shape. It's just there's other bits like tusks and you're not sure what's hair and what's tendrils.
Yes. I approach him and discuss with him that my travel companion is a handful at the best of times, and I wish to contribute to the crew some pleasantries across the trip to apologize for the inconveniences he may cause.
Alright, the creature then replies in gruff Ignan is what you can
I have that.
probably tell, and yes, you have it. Hand over the wine, I will ration it, essentially.
I do so.
Alright, and there's that part done. And there are no other events on the ship once William and Isaac return to their portion below deck. He, of course, though, starts to take sleeping posture, complaining about how there's a lack of any bed that's not made of rope under here. Because they're mostly using hammocks tied to the all hooked up underneath the all up against the shield.
Just a quick question, man. How rare are warp wizards in the world?
Yes.
From Bucket's knowledge.
Yes.
Even in the Astro Imperium?
See, the thing is that warp is a support school. It has like no direct effect in like most combats. Wizards that are powerful enough in combat might take warp just so that moving around is a bit easier, and so they don't have to. If they aren't focusing telekinesis, so they have a way of traversing a different axis and ignoring consideration like walls, height, and other such battlefield considerations or means of escape. So it's most likely not a primary concern, and probably few of them, if any, are powerful enough to do continental teleportation or something like that. It's very rare for them to take it as a focus.
I see.
And those that do are essentially assets of the state, most likely to be used for managing things like a teleportation hub.
School can build literal siege engines out of humans. Not taken, because I mean, why would you?
Well, when you can not require resources like additional humans to use, and also destroy a multitude of individuals with a single spell cast, they might opt to go for that.
Yes, but some degree of specialization against buildings, castles, like walls, structures, encampments would definitely exist.
Yep.
I suppose they'd have nature wizards for that.
Yeah.
Well, destruction can also supply that as well.
Anyway, back to the ship.
Yep. Back to the ship. There are no further events, though. At this point, Isaac is getting tired, and let's see. Do you decide to trust whether or not William will wake up from his slumber in time to get the teleportation off?
Dear heavens, no.
So I'm guessing Isaac's gonna stay awake and just teleport when it's time by shaking William every couple of hours and saying, "Hey, what time is it?"
Probably we'd be alternating sleep cycles.
I mean, wouldn't it be safe to assume that he had intrinsic knowledge of how much time he had left in the beacons?
No.
Maybe. Probably not with my current abilities.
Yeah, but it's weird to be able to cast something that lasts for a decent amount of time that you constantly have a connection to and not be able to feel how long it was going to last.
Well,
Just,
time is also something relative.
yeah, the thing is, he isn't just throwing it down and then leaving. He has a
'cause when
constant
you-
connection to it.
But when you engage in something like sleep, you sometimes do forget things that you are tied to.
Sleep, I get, I suppose, but when he's awake, he shouldn't have a problem.
Or when you're deep in reading a book, or modern ways of entertainment, like playing a video game. Sometimes you can simply forget that you have to eat or use a restroom until at one time you have to stand
I
up.
suppose.
Yeah, so some things are easily forgotten when time is involved. Speaking of which, I need to go save my dog real quick before he's forgotten.
I'll be right back as well.
Okay. I'm back. Alright, so this leaves William the ability to teleport back after the Renoux meeting now. So I assume William will be returning in the inn environment. Or not William, Isaac.
Isaac, yeah.
So you appear while Bright is having his dinner or something with Fia and 2 Alpha present. Valak, did you go shopping after visiting the glorified petting zoo?
There's not really anything else Valak needs to buy at the moment. I mean, he can go along if people need him as a sugar daddy to buy shit for him.
Did anyone want to buy stuff and wanted to ask Valak for money?
Isaac
much money
is
do
looking
you
for
have?
anything he can construct or any clock-like mechanism.
Asterisk, aside from Isaac, because he doesn't know that Valak has an additional 1,000 gold they just received.
How much money do you have in total?
My nose length prevents me from giving a definitive answer.
Give me a solid number, you son of a bitch.
One is a solid number.
I still want to know if I'm richer than you, alright?
You know,
How encumbered are you?
look, it's not important what
It
you
is
know.
important.
I do well. Let's just put it that way, okay?
Don't be a Jew now. Give me the number.
He has about he has almost 1,500 gold that he has stored in a locked chest,
Okay, so I'm still richer than you, that's fine.
treasure chest.
But hear him specifically. He has 1,500 gold locked away. Now, where's his spending money?
Where is the chest? Perhaps on the cart.
His spending money he keeps in a small bag around his neck, as is customary for people of his kind.
Does he have a separate bag of sand?
How do you know what's customary for his kind? He hasn't been around tieflings. Did Valak in the tower just read like a really racist book about how the greedy tieflings always keep their gold close?
Yeah.
And he thought, that's a great idea, I should do that.
Fantastic.
Anyhow, I'm still richer than him, so I'm fine with this.
Alright, and since you've been walking around with Isabel, let's see, what would Isabel request now that she knows that you have money?
She would request money.
I don't know about that.
She wouldn't even know what she'd spend it on, she'd just want it.
Maybe a deck of crads.
Are crads just crab cards?
Who knows? My Jesus Christ, Isabel had some money.
Had.
Well, Carol had
really
some
astute
money
observation that you were-
on Isabel.
Every once in a while, her chest just gets larger. That's where she stores all the money.
Just maintaining a little.
Valak's not the only one keeping gold in a locked chest.
Exactly. Although you'd have better chances of picking one chest than the other.
Yeah, Valak keeps his hidden away safely.
In reality, Isabel is very flat. She just has illusion tits.
I mean, that would make more sense than the size that's depicted on the art. But anyway, yeah, she probably is not requesting for anything monetarily. So, Valak is probably safe to return to the inn to eat in the common area with the rest of the group. So
Man,
that's when
it just hit me. We should have had a beach episode when we delivered the cargo to the ship.
a beach episode where
Don't worry, Isaac will be arriving at the beach soon.
Where most of the people consider each other family.
It's very Japanese.
where Friedrich and 2 Alpha are the only outsiders to the in-group.
Speaking of Bucket as an outsider.
Well, an outsider to the in-group. Because he isn't part of the family. He didn't live in the tower.
Isn't 2 Alpha technically part of the family? She did live in the tower for a while.
Not with them.
8 weeks?
That's not how in groups work, but she probably has higher status technically, but
Man, I didn't know
But-
I didn't know you guys were so racist.
So is Bucket basically Vin Diesel then?
And,
family. Yes. Bucket is Vin Diesel.
no, Bucket is not Vin Diesel. He doesn't know how to ride fast or furious. Well, he can be very furious.
Wait, is Friedrich bald?
No, he is not. He has hair.
No, he has a helmet.
Last he checked, he has hair.
Might want to check on that.
Traveling
What
with this
kind
group can
of-
make him lose it.
How long has it been since Bucket has taken off his bucket to wash his hair?
He does take the bucket off to wash. He just,
No, you don't. You just pour water over the bucket.
no. What he does is he fills the bucket up with water and then just puts it on his head.
Good thing the bucket
Only you had the
size.
nature sphere to make that possible. Just turn your bucket into a mobile washing station.
Anyway, yeah. So Isaac arrives, ruining probably a good dinner of chunks of bread and white soup.
Fuck, do they even put in white soup?
Well, it's milk
It's
and
white
flour.
and it's soup. It's white and it's soup.
Is the soup within my creation abilities?
What do you? You can't do liquids yet, can you?
Let's see. Nature.
I think it's expanded creation.
Basically, I was just wondering if I was able to cast sustenance on the soup.
No, you can't make
Hold
the
on.
soup into soup.
No,
Hold on.
casting
Is the-
sustenance on soup would functionally make the soup non-toxic.
Why would the soup be toxic?
Because it's made
Well-
of flour and milk. Also, I do not believe that Bucket would allow himself to eat something like that. He would pay extra for at least a chunk of meat somewhere.
Well, meat's expensive, but probably you could order meat. Yeah.
I mean, I do carry a ton of rations with me that are dried meat.
Yeah, iron rations exist. Anyhow, yeah, Isaac returned, so you can tell Isaac now all about things that he learned from Renoux.
Okay, quick rundown. We learned the location of several, or the last known locations of the several members of Cabal. Vela got a ton of money. He's away with Isabel somewhere, probably spending it all. What else? What else? What else? Oh, right. He asked us to do another job for him. We will travel to the capital and deliver the hide. As a reward for this, he promised us. Well, he didn't actually promise us anything other than to keep looking into the names. So
And
it's either
he gave
the
you something in advance.
Oh yeah, he gave us this cool map, but it's kind of garbage. Anyways, he. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, he promised to keep looking into the names. So we have two choices. We either go down to Courtnox, or we do another mission for him, and we learn exactly where we need to go and who we need to kill, and possibly get a couple of rewards along the way. Also, he wanted to talk to you regarding your contact, your.
Ah, yes. Isaac perks up at the mention of my contact, but otherwise, he has left William in a insufficiently supervised state. So,
Didn't stop you from collecting alcohol before.
yes, but that
How long? How long do you have?
Did I leave Isaac when he was, or did I leave William while he was asleep or awake?
I assume it started with Isaac asking William what the time is, and like, oh crap, I need to head on over. So he was awake, at least last Isaac checked.
So, Isaac left a awake William on a boat of strangers. So,
I hope the
For
wine
now.
bribe. I hope the wine bribe was enough.
yes, did you grab any more wine?
I think we bought all the wine they had.
There are neighboring inns.
Fair point.
But the answer would still be no.
Well, the answer is still no. Yes, I have
Yes.
not bought any more wine.
Isaac will grab another spare ration while he's here. And, other than that, how far are they currently from where they met? Rather, Isaac would actually ask Bucket, how far are you from, what's his name? Or the person I need to meet by contact?
No.
Here we go.
You need to meet with Renoux first. He didn't give us the name of your contact. Said
Yes,
he would
but
give you a
how-
reward only to you.
Yeah, how far away are we currently from that?
I assume we took an inn in the city, right?
Change back to the player view. Let's put her where Renoux is, even though she's with you, and let's say the party wagon is at this is an inn, yeah. That inn there.
Then I will talk to Renoux next cycle, after I've had more time to prep William for being left alone.
Okay, we need to decide before you go. Do we bring William and you back to do the mission, or do we leave you over there?
We have no way of returning to that place where I'm going if we do the mission. Because at any point, or not, after I get, like, basically what Isaac is doing right now is almost his entire spell pool to maintain this cycle. Furthermore, mostly restless. He's going to be absolutely exhausted by the end of it. Isaac is 100% of the opinion that he does not want what he's doing now to be pointless. Also, he's already invested some time into going to that location. This is after the first time they've met Renoux, right?
Yes.
Yes.
For now, Isaac will probably just want Bucket to inform Renoux that he is a bit busy in a distant location right now. He'll return sometime soon. To basically, as soon as he can convince William that his task is done. Do you mention anything to Isaac about the person William's trying to find probably not existing?
What, the undead wizard over in Courtnox?
Yeah.
Technically, none of them are supposed to exist. We already knew this before.
Yeah.
But we all know they do exist because they're members of the Eternal Cabal.
Yes.
So we know he exists, it's just a question of what state he's in.
Yes.
And because of his title, you can make some severe inferences.
Yeah. Is there anything anyone else wants in that location? Anything of value that would be worth investigating?
We have no idea of anything of value in there. Bucket recalls Renoux mentioning that vampires rule over that realm. Once supposedly created by the Eternal Cabal member. So he has the ability to create vampires powerful enough to maintain that zone.
I don't think at this time it would be the pelt quest is kind of simple, even if, like, just out of character briefly, it's relatively simple and something more suited towards a slightly higher level Isaac.
I also mentioned that Valak would like a little bit more time to prepare before encountering undead.
How much is more is a little?
I'm not sure. Duck, what's your what's the fastest you think he'll be ready to face an army of undead?
I have no idea. I mean, illusionary magic, by its nature, just is no good against.
Yes, but when do you get something
not
more
no
physical?
good, but it's.
Do you ever get something that lets you damage people even if they disbelieve you?
You've got your daggers, right?
He does actually, because of his, telekinesis, yes, but also he has shadow magic via Theodept, which allows him to emulate other sphere abilities, and even if disbelieved, they just deal reduced damage.
Okay, that's good.
How does Silver behave in this? How would Isaac understand Silver behaving with respect to vampires in this universe?
That'd be a knowledge religion. Let's see. Baseline knowledge tells you that, yes, vampires do not like silver, and the silver is effective against them. To what degree, you do not know, or why you need silver, you do not know. But you've definitely read that silver and vampires is a good combination for surviving against meeting a vampire.
I just got an idea. The capital should have a big cathedral in it somewhere, right?
One could stand to reason, yes.
Could stock up on holy water. It would help against undead.
Yeah, but in DRNS, religion is forbidden to common people. It's only allowed.
As long as they have a church and we have the money, they won't ask too many questions. And even if they do, we can just talk them into doing it for us.
Yeah, basically go to the church and say, we would like to buy as much holy water as you are willing to sell us.
You nation of simps, we want your holy bathwater.
Look, I will flash my hunter sigil and say it's for curing the undead. And it won't even be a lie, really.
Curing the undead.
Well, it is a cure.
Would the nature water sphere manipulation of holy water work and maintain the property of holy water?
Manipulating it, yes. Maintain the property, yes, but you cannot make extra holy water.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, could we carry around vials of this and water bend our way around the undead nation?
No, here's the question. After you're done with the battle, could Water Sphere pick up the water and rebottle it?
Whether or not it retains
I think-
holiness afterwards
yeah.
is difficult.
Yeah.
Because at that point, holy water is not water per se, it's actually an alchemical creation.
Does holy water maintain its properties in a steam state?
Holy steam. Holy shit, we should make a holy sauna as one of the Tower King projects.
Can
you imagine how...
Isaac create super soakers with his creation sphere?
I could definitely create
Holy
craft
water
weapon of
super
soaker.
soakers.
No. Isaac can just put his all the holy water into his storage and release it under pressure.
That again is an undiscussed
Yeah.
mechanic.
Nah, they're not getting into that.
As long as he can change the size of the exit, he should be able to release it under pressure, right?
Well, no. Put the water
Nah.
release the water into your loop space,
Let's not
and
mechanics
then
autism.
release the loop space in the direction of.
Yeah, generally, yeah. Basically, I think we have more options currently for undead than we have for nobility.
Well, hold on. I can deal with nobility. I can nobility is mostly talking, and both me and Valak are real good at that.
But nobody
Well,
else
I'll
is.
Yes.
Plus, Valak
Well-
can make himself appear as like the chadliest nobleman that ever was.
I can theoretically swing some of my old family's influence if it's any good.
I don't think it's going to be any good in DRNS.
Maybe not in DNS, but as long as they might recognize the name from the Astro Imperium, it'll be good
I
enough.
think that'll be a negative appeal.
I could say that I'm a delegate sent to see about preventing future war. Coming to a permanent peace. Ceasefire.
Yeah,
Right.
your diplomacy is high, sure. How about bluff?
Well, I'm actually, let's see. I think my bluff is as high as my diplomacy. Oh, no, it isn't, because I never got it as a class skill.
So your dependence would be entirely on Valak, really.
Well, it has points in it, I just don't have it as a class skill.
All I'm saying is that we would probably do a lot better. We'd probably get what we'd probably do better in the undead land because I could just fabricate hundreds of pounds of silver
Yes, but this requires us to go to the capital regardless to get the holy water. So it's capital
Well,
then.
not necessarily have to go there to get holy water.
Well, there's not a
Okay,
big.
here's what I'll ask for. Does anyone in our party know how long it should take to travel to the capital?
We have a map. We estimated around a week.
I'm pretty sure it's unreasonable for Isaac to be doing what he's currently doing for a whole week.
Yeah, I know. If we do this, we're going to have to ask Renoux for transport again. But I'm sure he'd comply.
Well, Isaac has left William unattended for long enough, and his opinion is basically going to be my vote will, under all circumstances, be for going to Undead Land. If
the
you
question
want to
is
discuss
just
it when you're discussing with the others, and that he'll see you next cycle.
The question is whether or not we go. It's when we go. And if your vote is for now, that's fine.
Yes, now, because William and I are already on our ways there. Isaac has spent all this effort on finding a way to achieve a bridge between the two places while maintaining your ability to talk to him at least. To our contact at least.
Okay, so Duck doesn't want to go because undead, unless that's changed, right?
Yeah, I'm still uncomfortable. It won't be until next level that I can fuse shadow with my illusion.
Yeah.
And
Isaac-
Isabel will make a similar vote, except hers is based upon undead or scary, and she doesn't want to face them again.
Wait, isn't she
Yes,
half ghost?
That's not how it works.
Hey, look. Her vote is cancelled out by William, who already mentioned that he wanted to be there. So Isaac and William are for it. Duck and Isabel are against it. Bucket could swing either way, though he would prefer going for another level before going down there. Just because Duck.
I would also prefer it, but we've already got the ship down there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
No. Okay. Bucket just came up with a counter proposal. We can't get the cart down there. We can't get the cart down there. None of us can teleport it.
Actually, I just got an idea. The guy we met, the Ghulassin, the guy on the ship.
Yeah.
You should ask him if he possesses any magic that we would find useful. For example, a permanency spell for your beacon.
Do you know how
I don't
much?
think we have-
Do you know how much it costs to use a permanency
I know.
spell?
I know,
That's
I know,
true.
it's expensive, but
I don't think he'd have a permanency spell, but you could ask him if he makes this trip often. Because if he does, we can just load up on his ship next time. You didn't waste your time by doing this.
Yeah. Basically, we could just say to the boat guy, "Hey, we were just confirming that this is feasible. Are you running any more trips down in the future?"
I like how this
Yeah.
big bad foreign lord is just known as boat guy.
Listen, you know
First
what I
impressions
call
make
you want
the most or the most
You-
important.
you
Most
know
impressive
what
thing
he
you did
reminds
was
me
summon a
of.
boat.
No, Bright,
You-
you can call him boat guy.
No, you know what he reminds me of? He's Ganondorf from Wind Waker, aka Boat Guy.
Even in Wind Waker, he's just a boat guy.
Yes.
I'm going to have. Who do you think would be best to convince William?
Unrelenting violence, but
And
You could
Grab
say-
a hold of him and teleport back.
yeah.
Tell-
That would require
tell him-
unwilling.
No, just tell him you're leaving, and that you two need to go. Before he asks any questions, just teleport him.
at this point, 2 Alpha says, "Why didn't we just go to Courtnox now?"
Mostly because we don't
Isaac,
feel powerful
wait. Did 2 Alpha just appear in the room?
Yes.
She's been there.
2 Alpha is
2 Alpha-
sleeping in the same room as Bucket?
No, Bucket's in the common area right now.
Yeah,
the end.
we're eating. You didn't teleport in my
Yeah,
room.
you
this time.
teleported in his soup.
Ah.
Yes. You ruined perfectly horrible soup. I am glad that you ruined that soup. I don't know what came over me when I tried eating it.
Well,
I
might
have an
wanted
excuse
the
to throw it
potato
away.
chunks that were floating in it. I don't know.
Also, 2 Alpha has warp powers confirmed.
That's not warp powers that you just forget that she's there at the scene, despite being
so it's
described to be
illusion.
there.
So it's illusion.
No, there is actually a feat for warp that makes you unnoticeable.
So it is warp.
I don't think the feat allows you to be unnoticeable permanently. It's just that the
You know,
teleport is
Just
discreet.
passively, people kind of forget you're there, or kind of, just ignore your existence occasionally.
Yes.
It's school all over again.
So, what did 2 Alpha ask? When she suddenly and rudely
No,
appeared
she
out of nowhere?
she gave her vote by asking, why not leave now?
A few reasons. A few reasons. We can't take the cart, and we don't think we're powerful enough to do it.
The cart is irrelevant, and why are you powerful enough to do anything here and not there?
Isaac will take the stance to question whether or not 2 Alpha thinks Father's possessions are relevant and Father's gifts.
She answers, the Maker's will is more important than the Maker's creations.
The reason we think we might be powerful enough to do something here and not down there is because this mission, if it goes right, will not involve any combat at all. The other mission, if everything goes right, most likely involves at least several fights.
Are you saying going to the capital, on the way trying to convince some nobles to share their private library, also try to convince some nobles to share their cathedral with you to get
Convinced?
access to holy water?
No, you don't understand, Verdun. With my contact for smuggling, I'm going to be selling them a wonderful silver futures investment.
Not while teleporting back and forth the entire time, you're not.
Yeah, you
I'll
would.
be back in a second.
Yeah, we need to make the trip twice, wouldn't we? Because he won't be able to maintain the teleport thingy for a whole week, would he?
Probably not, no.
Wait, can't he sleep? What's the longest interruption he's allowed during his sleep?
There's no specific time limit, but you do need to have 8 hours of full rest.
So could it
To
be
reduce
4
spellcasting.
hours? Could it be 4 hours, one action, 4 hours?
Yes, but I'd be cutting it close, and you have to trust William to wake him up
Well,
time.
we don't, no, we don't need to trust William to do it again. We just need to trust us, because we can keep track of time better than they can.
Allegedly. And
Well,
there's
you can
also the
buy
matter,
it.
of course, that William is unsupervised on a ship with strangers.
Well, he would only need to do the sleep, like, twice, right?
This time,
Turn
yeah.
back.
Yeah, this time.
What's the topic?
And we're discussing if it's possible for you to leave a beacon in the city while we make our way to the capital.
Kinda. It's the same thing as the boat. I'm functionally getting. I'm. Isaac would have to be sleeping, or rather, operating on 12-12, or day cycles, where
No, we confirmed with Worden that we can do 4 hours of sleep, you do an action at 4 hours of sleep.
yes, but that is not healthy or indicative of good sleep. It would accumulate.
Also
No,
correct.
it isn't particularly healthy, but I mean...
Wait a minute. Would any of the abilities William can cast alleviate my need for sleep?
No.
Could William cast haste on him while he's sleeping so he sleeps faster?
No, and William would need to concentrate on that the entire time.
One of us can read him an audiobook while Isaac sleeps. That way he gets his 8 hours of sleep in 4 hours.
Or, alternatively, Isaac can return to the ship with someone else that is more trustworthy than William to keep him occupied.
Yeah, that's another thing.
And Isaac returns every time.
You know, I had a brilliant idea about that. I was thinking of bringing 2 Alpha back to the boat, since she
But
wants to go down there so much.
And this is where Bright
So we-
says,
And we don't want to lose our healer.
Small price to pay.
Well, splitting the party is a bad idea anyways. But if
the question is, why 2 Alpha and not Isabel?
Isabel, yeah. The reason is because Isabel is such a fucking coward that she wouldn't be able to keep William in check. She is less trustworthy than him, just because how cowardly she is.
That's the problem with a femoid.
Theoretically, we could send all 3 of them down there to act as a landing party to do the to set up a forward operating base down there. Let's call it.
What? Isabel, William, and 2 Alpha.
Yes,
Yes.
the 3
All
of
the
them could.
NPCs in one place.
Yeah.
Well, you don't have a healer, and then you have to travel on foot, well, on carriage down to down south. Because let me change the
Wait a minute.
screen real quick, so you know what distance that is.
Yeah, a week.
In 2 Alpha's speech to Grosvenor, she mentions something about a time chamber. Or something similar mechanic.
Yes, that was made by Great Daddy Mirrorball. So see, that's the distance you'd have to be traveling.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, that's also incorrect. Sorry, have to do this.
Yeah. What are you talking about? It's that.
No, because at the capital, you retrieve the pelt, return to Westfield, finish that job, and then you leave on the road to Courtnox.
True.
Where is Courtnox currently?
Down.
No,
Am I not revealing
where-
it to everyone?
This thing
Yes,
here?
you are.
Yes. See
Where
that
exactly?
lettering that says
Hold on.
Courtnox?
Where
Where will the
exactly
boat
is
land?
the? Yeah, where's the boat landing?
There. About.
Is there a village near there somewhere?
Let me check my more detailed map.
Isaac could probably take this river up there.
Yes, there's something of a port there.
Oh no.
Oh no?
There's a hidden town. Down. There's a hidden
See-
town down at the point, and we discovered it just by using basic map.
Well, there's a hidden town, yeah.
I have several very interesting questions that I need to have answered at the next level.
You know the
chance?
next level is going to be a while, right?
Well, if it's going to be a while,
Based
It is
upon
going
the
to be.
rules of your level provisions, you have to do something significant to have achieved and experienced the level up. And
So if it
something
is going to be a
significant-
while,
yeah, because I don't think the pelt delivery is significant.
Well, there may be something that happens on the way that makes the pelt delivery significant. Or something you do while turning it in that makes it significant. But nonetheless, it's still like 1 week of possibly doing something enough to level up versus just going down south and possibly expediting the process of significance.
and there's the question: do we risk going to Courtnox now, or do we risk going to the city?
Which brings us back exactly to where we were an hour ago.
Yes.
Yeah. I think we
Also,
might be able to stop by
2
the
weeks
city,
ago.
the capital. Actually, what do we know about the capital's relation with Courtnox?
They're not on friendly terms because one.
So we can go to the capital and arm them with silver
That's not
silver,
the capital one,
coated.
I think.
That's not the
Like,
capital,
basically-
and that's not the origin destination.
Yeah, it's
There. Arm a bunch of
There's-
people with a bunch of silver weapons. March down Courtnox.
they must have a border town somewhere that is meant to keep all the undead where they are. I'm guessing it's where's my thing to draw? Guessing it's this one or this
Possibly.
one. Yeah.
Actually, we're stopping here. Could I request to stop, like, in one of these?
You can assume that he'll reject such, mainly because the cargo he has and the fact that he's avoided stopping at a DRNS port so far.
Even if it's just drop me off at some lowly fishing town and rowboating me out,
Yes.
that would be better than stopping in the middle of Courtnox. Because if we go halfway to Courtnox, we could stop at one of the border towns that's keeping the undead in this area, arm them with anti-undead weapons, and march down.
I don't think
I don't think the
DNS
main
would
problem there is the weapons.
Yeah, I don't think the DNS would have problems arming them. They can field armies, and they can field armies of peasants large enough to stop the Astro Imperium, and the
Yes,
Astro Imperium uses magic liberally, right?
Yeah, the
It's
Astro Imperium is elite forces, where DRNS is kind of Russian wave tactics.
yeah, arming
Plus
them
cavalry.
with silver isn't. Arming them with silver wouldn't be too difficult, considering silver is relatively cheap in the universe.
Yeah, the difficulty of DRNS isn't that they don't have weaponry to kill off vampires or to fight basic undead. It's that there's more than just numbers in that equation.
The whole place itself is cursed. I assume one man falls, one undead rises.
Something close to that.
So let's tally up the vote. 2 Alpha says we go. Asbel says we don't.
We
go.
don't.
William says we go. Fida, what's your call?
My call is we go down south.
So that's 2 for 2 for now, right? Valix says we don't.
Down
go.
south is
AC
Courtnox, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
AC says
That's 3-1.
yeah. So 3-1. Valix says we don't go. That's 3-2. Isaac says we go. That's 4-2. And Bucket, while he would prefer to stay a level, he's fine with either. So it's 4-2 in the end. Well, we're going down to Courtnox.
Then in that case, Isaac will not request a stop at any of petty
Hold on.
ones unless we
Is
want
there
to.
is there a any church in the current town I'm in?
In Westfield,
Yes,
not that you're allowed to go into.
but is there one that I'm not allowed to go into?
Possibly.
I
How would you know that?
could ask Renoux,
You could.
but he would probably not give me the info until I do the job for him.
One might say that this, in an out of character sense, one might say that this job would lead to opening doors to going to where the nobility are allowed to go.
Yeah, but there's a bit of a problem.
Yeah, there's a whole week of a problem.
Yeah. Did I ask how long this job can be put on hold? I didn't.
No, you didn't.
Could I go ask him now?
But considering, well, you can, let's say that your character has the ability to judge this yourself. Considering the fact that the alternative is faking a pelt rather than sending you on a job to go exterminate some white fur creature that you don't even know what creature is being slain or why. Well, you know why. Never mind.
Supreme Act of Semper.
Yes, Supreme Act of Semper. It's part of the nation's founding. Semper is the law of the land.
Hold on, no, that means we don't do the job. Regardless, it's immoral to do the job.
Man, it's the one thing lower than simping, is helping someone simp.
Exactly. Well, I mean, the other alternative is you could do whatever supposedly dangerous task it would be to get the real pelt.
And did he mention it was any closer?
He didn't, but considering it's something tasked to the lord of the region, it might be much closer than the capital.
Could be a white lion he's hunting.
Could possibly be.
This is close to Liamwood, and it would make sense for their history. Hold on. What can I roll? Do I have knowledge local? No, but I do have knowledge nobility. Would that suffice?
For what knowledge are you trying to...
What
Do.
exactly the belt symbolizes and why it's important?
Knowledge nobility would tell you... Oh, roll knowledge nobility first. Alright, it would tell you essentially that in DRNS, for lords to get married, they have to do like a dick measuring contest for the maidens they're trying to woo. And to do that, as is tradition since the first king of DRNS, which I don't have my notes on hand right now, but I could look back at Westfield.
Maximus.
Renoux Jean DRNS.
Same name?
That'd be the first king of DRNS. Yes, his last name is the name of the kingdom.
No, I mean the same name as R. Renault.
Renault, not Renault.
Oh. Close.
Think like Renault, but ends with a T.
No, it's like Muhammad and Muhammad in the Middle East. Everyone in DNS is named some version of Renault.
No.
Yeah, also another point for Courtnox is that the DRNS quest will entangle us in lots of noble shenanigans.
Yes, we don't want to get entangled in noble shenanigans.
And arming the peasantry doesn't involve you in shenanigans whatsoever.
No, we don't want to get entangled in noble shenanigans until we have the backing of Tower King.
Which
Or
requires
Tower
noble
Belt,
shenanigans to get off the ground. Yes.
No, it doesn't. It requires illegal shenanigans to get off the ground. Completely different.
Who do you think runs the legal system here?
Well, I said illegal.
Oh.
Who cares about the legal system when you're doing something illegal?
Yeah, we just need to get me to level 10, I think. Where's the warp for structure? Oh no, it's not structure. There are other things I can do at that level, but no. No, just down to Courtnox is what I think.
Yeah, well, we already voted. It's 4-2. So I suppose we'll say our goodbyes to Renoux. Wish him the best of luck on obtaining his belt, and head down to DNS.
So
Courtnox.
Oh right, sorry, Courtnox.
yeah, so like, what then do we do about our gear that we're taking around on the cart if we can't take the cart with us?
Just back it up into boxes and have
Okay.
Isaac tell all the boxes.
Let's see.
We can buy another cart over there probably.
Or structure. We could probably sell off the cart.
Yeah,
What-
but you
what's
don't,
the-
you don't want to do that. You want to leave it with Renoux or someone else who can take care of it. It is Mirabel's cart after all. It has the best suspension of any cart in the land.
I like how the one that has no relation to Mirabel is the one that remembers that it's supposed to have value to guys.
The only reason it has value to me is because it has an amazing suspension for a medieval cart.
Bucket recognizes quality work.
Yeah,
It has an extra 1 horsepower to the mile.
Game recognizes game, alright?
What's the limit on teleport and load encumbrance?
What
Can you
he-
teleport someone who is exceeding heavy load?
Theoretically, I can teleport anyone, any living entity holding it. If you find a way to drive it on top of a whale, I can bring it with us.
Mm,
You don't have mass teleport yet, do you?
also, it'd take an
No.
extra day for them to reach a whale. At minimum.
No, because even if we can't teleport the cart, we could at least teleport the stuff with us,
Yes, definitely.
and
Back
then
it
get
up.
a cart
Put up in
there.
the chest and then hold the chests.
Yeah. Because the chest I've got 124 pounds.
It's not a pound limit.
Man,
it's
that is
size
a
limitation.
big chest on
Oh,
Fia.
yeah. Yeah.
I
We've
thought she
had
was
that
flat.
joke before.
I thought she was flat.
So the cart being hooked up to the horses doesn't count as it being attached to a living being for the purposes of transport.
Not really. I would argue both horses would need a very specific talent in warp, and that is absurd.
Also,
Maybe they're capable horses.
they aren't carrying the cart; they're pulling the cart. There's a difference.
Yes, but there's a talent in warp that basically makes you doing that, you being in the cart, or on the cart, or just holding the cart, in possession of the cart. It's just really weird.
Oh well.
Basically, so long as the entity can pick it up, and I can teleport the living entity, it can come with us.
One final thing. If we are going, this is probably the last time we'll see a civilized town with civilized shops. We might want us like pack up.
Well, let me look at the description of mass teleport group is.
think you're up to being able to teleport 3 people with a single teleport with mass teleport.
Wait a minute. Mass teleport works in conjunction with beacons.
Yeah, as in you can teleport them to your beacon with you.
Yeah. Let's see, where's mass?
And mass teleport targeting beacons allows you to teleport beacons to you.
1 additional target per 2 caster level. Could any 3 of us pick up that cart?
No.
Nah, it's too
How much does
heavy.
the cart weigh?
If we can lift it even for a split second, that should be enough, right?
No.
Wait, what's the ruling on levers?
You're not picking it up if you're using a lever.
But if he teleports the lever,
I'm going to say the rules for teleport are the same as the rules for a personal teleport. Personal teleport is yourself and up to heavy load. Those other people, if they're carrying anything greater than a heavy load, is a no-go.
yes, but think
Yes,
about
but
this.
what's the aggregate rule about that? Because, okay, let's say 2 people are teleported with mass teleport. They are both holding a rope. Does the rope come with them?
It depends on the weight of the load on the rope.
Yes, but
Otherwise, I
each
think it's
person
just be
only...
otherwise, it may just be the rope that comes detached from whatever it was attached to.
Yeah, because the rope, you may be able to have the rope under the cart such that each person only has a heavy load.
two alphas aboard, right? So you put her like below a swivel, and then you lift the cart using her, and then you teleport her. Does the cart come with?
She isn't Rushia, right?
I don't buy it. Mirrorball would make something with tits that's supposed to fight.
Yeah. There's a lot of really
Is there an
edge cases with mass teleport that I'll be asking questions on off session.
Was anime a lie? Is fighting ability disproportionate to breast size?
Yes, it was. Well, anime wasn't a lie. It's just you've been watching the wrong anime.
Wait. Oh no, that wouldn't work.
But that's still,
say, what would happen if you picked up the cart with a hot air balloon?
Now, is the hot air balloon an entity that you can teleport?
Burton, how would a hot air balloon work?
All right, let's get off this and
Yes, thank
do
you.
something.
Yeah.
So we can transport the individual belongings, but not the cart itself. Is that
Correct.
As it currently stands. If I was one
Yeah.
level higher, I would be able to transport the
Okay.
cart, but
Which is why I thought going to the capital might be a good idea, just to get that final level.
Well, it's not just the capital; it's the capital back again.
Yeah. The question is, can Renoux secure passage to Courtnox again?
Probably not by the same ship, and
Not by the same ship, but
probably not within immediate.
that might be a bit of a problem then. Because we do need to go down there. Or wasn't there stories of the night was around these parts? Why are we chasing down eternal Cabal members in Courtnox when there's one supposedly right under our noses?
that was one of my arguments. Is we might find information about Beaumont in
Yeah.
why
the capital.
why was William seeking the one he's currently seeking specifically right now?
Because he heard Undead Land and thought, ooh, Disneyland.
Essentially, yes, he connected Undead King, Undead Land, go to Undead Land, find Undead King.
I think he might not be as interested
So
in
he's not here for knowledge specifically.
Well, he thinks that if there is an Undead King, he still has the knowledge of, learning to be the Undead King. And as he's seen in DRNS, there is no knowledge worth obtaining here.
Maybe he could learn to be not a social retard, but
You're asking
suppose
a
he
lot from William.
well, I'm saying that's knowledge worth learning, and it's right here.
You're asking a lot from William.
I just know he can live up to his potential if he stops being a retard.
Same, a second verse, same as the first.
Q, you're asking a lot of William for the third time.
Yes. Alright, so it's been it's been almost 3 hours. Got 5 minutes to go. Everyone good?
I can go for a bit longer.
We're not going to
Uh,
do much though.
I kind of need to go back to
Yeah.
sleep. I'm fading
Right.
fast, and we keep going in circles with this damn question.
Right.
Yeah, we should decide this off stream too, probably.
Well, you did come to a vote, and unless you're doing the very
Yes.
democratic thing of recounting,
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be fair, we should only count the players who are present.
so that leaves you with 1 to 2.
No mail-in voting.
No, two Alpha gets a vote because Verdant is playing her, but Isabel and William do not because they used to have real players.
You know, that brings it back to the same, like, ratio, right? Almost the same
Yes,
ratio.
well, yes, but Bucket can vote, and he could cast his vote for staying here if the group demands it so.
No, that's
Essentially, I'm the delegate here.
that's still like 4 to 2.
See,
No,
I
that's
just
4
realized
to 1.
an absolutely excellent bomb I could drop on William.
Which is?
Is William fully aware of the fact that 2 Alpha can contact Mirabel?
He might not have it at the forefront of his knowledge.
What do you want to do?
I could tell him, or rather, I could persuade him to go places. I said, "Hey, are there any books from the tower you want? Perhaps you can ask 2 Alpha to request them for you."
And just hope that there's a reply.
Or, in order to convince William, Valak can travel back, summon his Golgothan shit demon, and then proceed with non-lethal damage to waterboard William with diarrhea until he complies.
Unless he disbelieves.
Yeah, but I'm guessing William is low wisdom.
Doesn't necessarily mean he has low will, though.
Well, aren't will saves based off of wisdom?
They're based off of wisdom, and classes do give bonuses to will saves. Specifically, caster classes.
He's still level 3,
Yeah, but
though.
you haven't been leveling him up.
No, I haven't. Alright, anyway, you said you needed to go soon, Duck, so let's close this off here. We can discuss the rest later before Isaac teleports back. Thank you, everyone, for showing up. We had a bit of chase here on the Discord, and we had someone talking a bit later, but I don't see timestamps on that, so that might have been like near the first. We were arguing about maps at a time. Alright, anyone have any last words before I go to Bright's outro?
The outro truly is wonderful. You should all witness it.
Let me go find a link to the video first so you don't have to see. Any last words before I... Oh yeah, that was hours ago that PI talked. Okay, here's the link. Boom.
Right.
And now going to the outro. Have a
Make
good
sure
one,
to
everyone.
turn on the audio.
Yes, the audio will be on when it's there. So.